Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope y'all doing good. Friday. I hope your week been good to you. Uh, the day is the 30th of October. Might not mean nothing to you, but the 30th of October for me is the anniversary date from the time the accident happened with me and my motorcycle. And usually I post, a bunch of pictures or like a little short video online. I just wasn't kind of in the mood, I guess, to do the whole picture thing. So I said, well, let me just do a little video, and talk to y'all a little bit. But 10/30/2016 is when it happened, and still hanging in there, still going through ups and downs from that day. But honestly, I don't regret what happened. Now, the day when it happened, while I was in the hospital, I got a call from the officers saying that they ruled it as an accident, even though the guy crossed the median and just came in the oncoming, traffic and hit us head on anyway. But I believe that, that's between, him and God. I ain't judging nobody for what they did or what happened. But I know, like, he called and said, oh, you know, you just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's something that always stuck with me since he said it, but it wasn't enough to get me like to a point of just being angry, like forever, to hold on to it. I look back at it now, and honestly, I was at the right place at the right time, because God has showed up in my life, and He's been working things out for me, in His time. My time, I would think it would need to be done sooner or faster, but hey, that's just me. But God is working things out in my life. I'm not here sitting saying like I'm just in this great place, and financially I'm great, and emotionally I'm great, and physically I'm great, because I still go through things. Life is still happening to me. I'm still having situations that I go through financially. I still have situations I go through emotionally, and I definitely still have situations I go through physically. But the fact that God's still with me, that lets me know to keep going, keep striving. Even when I fall short, which I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect, by no means, and I never really looked at this situation and just felt like I just couldn't go on like forever. Now, I've had those ups and downs, and we all go through situations when you're going through stuff where you start questioning things and you start doubting things, and you can let that stress build up to the point where sometimes, in some cases, you might even wish that you weren't even here. I've had a few episodes of that in the beginning of everything happening, but since then, when things get a little hard, I get a little stressed about it. But God seems to find a way to bring things to my attention to let me know that, hey, I'm taking you through stuff because I need you stronger, and I want to be as strong as He want me to be. Um, it's just little things, and when sometimes it's hard to explain, but I tell you what, when God shows up in your life and God answers prayers for you, that feeling is just amazing. And it's sometimes you can't even describe the way you feel, because you might have been struggling for so long or going through stuff for so long, and just for something to happen or you get a blessing, it's amazing feeling. But anyway, like I said, it's the anniversary date for me, and I'm just kind of reflecting and looking back on everything. And since it all happened, I've gained a lot of knowledge in things as far as what may be my purpose in life. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the path that I'm going is the way and the path that God wanted me to go. Because even through the struggles and the hard times, I'm still finding a way to make things happen. I never thought, I would have a published book that I'm about to plug right now. The Devil Knocks, but God Answers. You can get it on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and type that in, or type my name in, Henry Bryant. Never thought I would have a coloring book. Never thought that I would be designing like my own apparel and just making custom products. And all this started just being able to try to cope and deal with the situations that were going on. And it's crazy, to this day I still have like 100 ideas in my head that just go through my head, and I keep a book and I just write them down. At one point I used to think that, you know, some ideas you get or some situations you put in are just dumb, and like there's no need to even follow that up and try to pursue it. But I'm at a point in my life now where it's like every opportunity given to me, even if I don't feel 100% comfortable or feel like, oh, that's something I can do, I give it a shot. You know, I'm all in. I try to do it, and it's a different mindset that I have. It's a different vision that I have when I'm posting things or when I'm taking pictures. It's like I see things I didn't see before. So I go back to say, whatever happens in your life, it was designed to happen in your life. I mean, it's hard as hell sometimes to go through it, and it's hard as hell sometimes to push through it. But try to push through it, try to go through it, because there's blessings on the other side of it. It's things that you won't be able to see while you're going through it, but don't lose your focus. And it's been times I lost my focus. It's still times I lose my focus, because like I said, I'm not perfect. I lose my temper at times. I get involved in situations I probably shouldn't get involved in. But at the end of the day, I still go to God and I pray to God, and I just ask Him to help fix those things. Like, even like, I got like a tattoo that I had tattooed on my arm, you know, after I started getting back up and moving and things like that. And it was just a prayer that I started praying to God. Because I talk to Him all the time. I talk to Him, like I say, just like I'm talking to y'all right now, and I talk to Him. But it's on my arm, and it says that, it basically says, forgive me for my sins, control my tongue, guide my feet, give me strength, move all obstacles, open all doors, pour out all blessings, keep me safe in your arms. Amen. And that's just something that I have to try to daily say to myself. And if you break it down, forgive my sins, because I'm not perfect. I mess up. I do. So I have to ask God to forgive my sins. Now, I'm not purposely out there going and just doing things wrong and then say, oh, I'm going to do it because God got me. No, it don't work like that. But when you're just going through life, you're going to make decisions, you're going to make choices, you're going to do things that may not be pleasing in the sight of God. So you got to ask forgiveness. So I ask God to forgive me for my sins. I ask Him to control my tongue. And that's just, for the most part, is if when you're emotionally going through things, sometimes you get upset. Sometimes things people say or do to you can cause you to react in like a split second, and it only takes one second to say the wrong thing to somebody. So I just ask God to help control my tongue, and that deals with trying to control like anger and control emotions and things like that. Because a lot of times when you go through stuff, once you're going through it, people don't see the process of you going through what you're going through. They only see the end result. So a lot of people see you and say, oh, man, you good. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, you fine. And I'm not just talking about my situation in particular. I'm talking about whatever you're going through in your life, whatever your struggles have been. People don't see your whole struggle. They just see the outcome of it. And a lot of times you make it look good. You know, you go through what you go through and you come out better on the other side of that. But don't forget, man, it was hell going through it at that time. You went through a lot at that time. Emotionally, physically, mentally, you went through a lot. But to be able to stand up strong, stand up tall, and thank God for another day and another chance, that's a blessing in itself. But like I said, people sometimes don't see that. I asked Him to guide my feet. You guide my feet, it's just the moves I make. You know what I mean? The places I go, the things I pursue, the things I do. And just guide my feet and everything. Send me in the direction that I need to be going in. I want you to open all doors for me, because there's things I think about now that I never thought about before. It's opportunities that present themselves that I never thought I would even have a chance to participate in. So if He does open those doors, then, you know, go through them. Don't ask God to do something for you and then you don't follow through. So, you know, open them doors and then pour out all your blessings. Pour out all the blessings you got. I'll take it all. And I mean, from physical blessings, mental blessings, financial blessings, whatever blessings you have for me, I want them all. I'm greedy on that point. So pour out all your blessings for me. And then just to say, keep me safe in your arms. There's so much going on in the world today. There's so much going on around you. And even with that, you still got other life issues going on. You may have things going on at home. You may have things going on at work, going on at school, wherever it may be. So I want God to just keep me safe and just keep me in his arms and just let me know he got me and I'm protected, everywhere I go. So, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I got a bunch of other tattoos and stuff on that same arm. And all of them are like single pieces and it look like my whole arm is done now. But I have stars on there, and the stars is just reach beyond your limit. You know what I mean? It's something that right now if you try to reach for, you probably would think you can't get, but it's just like, man, you keep pushing, you reach for the stars. I got flowers, roses, on my arm, just to remind yourself that you're beautiful. No matter what you go through, still beautiful. I thought at one point losing my leg made me ugly, and like nobody will want to be with me or associate with me. It's just the way your mind works. That wasn't true, of course, but that's just the way things could happen, and mentally, it could take a toll on you. It could start to break you down, and it can start making you go in a direction you shouldn't go in. So just want everybody to be encouraged, stay strong, keep doing what you're doing, because like I said, I was in a motorcycle accident on 10/30/2016, and I'm just reflecting back now on everything that has happened so far. And this is not the end. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. It takes time to get things done, but I'm actually working on a second book. I've been writing. I'm working on a second coloring book. If you check the website, fivetoesdown.net, I'm constantly on there updating like some of the apparel and custom things on there. But it's just something I do to try to make myself feel good and to let others feel good. Because when I was going through the situation at the time, I didn't know anybody that lost their leg or was dealing with any issues, and not just from a motorcycle accident, from whatever the condition may be that caused you to lose a limb. I didn't know anybody at that time, so when it happened to me, it's only natural to feel like you're by yourself. And then at that time, I wasn't big on social media. I wasn't big on posting and all these pictures and things like that. I wasn't really on there like that. But once it happened and I started getting on there, they was telling me like it's groups on there, and then I was getting on there to try to find a local group here in Savannah to try to meet with them. Then I started getting into a lot of the groups that's on there for amputees, and I started seeing a lot of other amputees and started hearing a lot of people's stories. And I'm sitting back thinking, my story bad, and man, and some of these stories I've seen are to me, is something I feel like I wouldn't even be able to deal with. And a lot of people look at what I went through and said they couldn't deal with it. And I look at their stories and I'm like, man, I couldn't deal. But that's why I use social media, not for the negative or negativity. It's just positive things, you know what I mean? Because I look at posts and I look at how people doing, and I'm like, man, I can do that. I have a different mindset. And this is just not now. It went from just looking at fellow amputees trying to be strong like them or do what they're doing. Or I saw them running before I started running. I see them jumping. Like I'm working on jumping right now. I get a little bit off the ground, but that's not what's important right now. But it's just a lot of things that I'm working on now because I see that it is possible to do, and then I push myself as safely as I can at times myself to try to do better. But I just see everybody's story, man, and like I said, it's not just amputees now. I see everybody doing their thing, man. Anybody that's trying to do good things or trying to be better, or just trying to use their voice or their platform to bring awareness to any issues, or just promote or manage their business or their company or what they may doing. I see that. It inspires me. A lot of people say I inspire them, but y'all don't know how much you know, y'all inspire me to just keep going. So, you know, I just want to thank y'all for that. So anyway, you know, just rambling a little bit, but like I said, the main thing I want you to take away from this is don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on God. Because I'm telling you, it's not a time limit where it's like you're gonna go through something and it's only gonna be for like 2 days or a week or a month. Sometimes you're gonna go through stuff and it's gonna seem like everything in your life is going wrong. Everything. And it's gonna take everything out of you to hang in there. It's gonna take so much of your energy, and it's gonna drain you to just keep God first. Keep praying, keep thanking God every day He wake you up, and just try to keep pushing forward. So like I say, plant your feet in the ground, 5 toes down, baby. Out. Y'all have a blessed one.